Welcome into another edition of the Gator Nation Football Podcast Film Review. I'm your host, James DiVirgilio, and today we'll be looking at Florida's defense versus South Carolina. Florida entered this game having made 8 stops in a row to end the game versus A&M, and they would go on to make 12 more stops in a row versus South Carolina, bringing their total to 20 stops in a row. If you had that on your bingo card, you are lying. Nobody had that on their bingo card. It's been a remarkable turnaround for Florida, and we'll take a look at the film to find the answers for as to why. Special thanks this week goes out to Dave's Freshly Used for providing me with this sweet Florida gear. A link in the description to find more good stuff from Dave's Freshly Used. As always, if you like this content, sub to this channel, follow us on social media, drop us a dono on Patreon where you can support our efforts to bring you more of this content, and check out our podcast each and every Monday where we bring you in-depth analysis on the Gators. All right, let's hop right into the first quarter where Florida's going to make its 9th stop in a row and its first stop in this game. All right, 1st and 10 for South Carolina. First play of the game for them in this game, and of course they probably knew that Florida shut out A&M in the second half. Florida was coming in with momentum on defense, and Florida had 8 stops in a row last week. We're going to see if Florida can make it 9. And I think because of all those factors and playing in the swamp, South Carolina was a little bit nervous. And what do I mean by that? Well, in the opening play, they're going to get this wrong, right? They're trying to run a gap run this way. However, the left guard thinks it's his time to shine, and he is going to do a nice job running into the right guard. Boom, good block right here. Right? Nice block. And he's like, oh, this is not good. I'm not sure what's happening here, but this is definitely not the play we practiced all week long. We got 2 offensive linemen blocking each other, and Big Dez is like, okay, this is awesome. I'm just going to cruise in here and blow this play up. Running backs like, this is not good. Our top 2 running backs are out already. I'm going to bump into the O-lineman, and this is the kind of start South Carolina has. Tackle by Burney, and a tackle for loss right away. Again, not a great look. Not a great look when you block each other here, right? Not a great look. Not what you want on this opening play. And Florida, everything they want, going to get a tackle for loss on the very first play of the game. Welcome back, 4 down linemen. Florida again going to play some nickel here. I love this formation for Florida for the reasons we talked about last week, primarily because you get Big Dez and Dexter both playing defensive tackle, and they can only double team one of them. Generally, they double team Dexter. In fact, I get a lot of comments about Dexter. Should he be doing more? What's he doing out there? He's disappointing. And the reality is he gets doubled every single play almost. The plays he doesn't, he tends to dominate. And you'll see that on this film again, so watch for it. But on this play, great play call here by Tony. I thought Tony by far, and this is not surprising, had his best game as a defensive play caller. Forget about the execution of the defense itself. Florida did a really good job scouting this South Carolina team. They were often reading their mail, and they're going to do it here on this particular play. Burney is immediately going to get into the gap where this play is trying to be run across the edge. He's going to beat the blocker there. Great feel for this play, and an excellent slowdown where Trevez then comes through to make the tackle. So again, Florida has tended to be slow this season on coming downhill and on reading plays. We've covered it on this film breakdown frequently. They were not in this game. They had a very good feel for what South Carolina wanted to do, and by and large, they executed their game plan very, very well. So 2 plays, 2 tackles for loss to start this football game off. 3rd and 14. Now, of course, as a Florida fan, you're really saying this is what we're here for, is 3rd down, because, the first 2 downs don't tend to always matter when Florida's struggling on defense, but 3rd down does matter. What's Florida going to elect to do here? We're going to show a simulated pressure look here. Are we going to bring everyone? Are we going to bring nobody? Where are they coming from? And this is an example of a simulated pressure working very, very well. Spencer Rattler is going to read that Florida is coming hot. He's going to read this is hot. He wants to check what his hot route is. He wants to get this ball out quickly. And generally, you want to throw from where the pressure is coming from. That's generally your best bet. Throw right into the pressure. He's going to look up and make that read correctly, or at least so he thinks. The reality is Florida's only bringing 4 guys. Florida's still playing safe on the back end. Now, when you run simulated pressures, you are in scramble mode to get yourself back right into defensive shape here. You're really trying to get over here and bubble these routes off. Jaden Hill's job, of course, is to funnel everyone here to the safety and keep everyone into the zone. Florida is going to do this to perfection. So Rattler's going to look up. I got to throw hot. I got an unblocked man coming. Here's my hot route. With any luck, Florida is going to be down a man on that side. Jaden Hill is sitting here playing this perfectly. Eyes in the backfield playing zone, walling off these two receivers. He can then break off, come downhill, make a tackle on 3rd and 14. Here he comes. Stay to the outside. Bingo. Stay to the outside. You know, if up on the inside right here with Princely. Stick, tackle, put him to the ground. And Florida gets off the field for their 9th stop in a row and the first stop of this football game, keeping the momentum on the side of the defense. Florida scores again. First quarter off to a very hot start. Florida now back on the field on defense. 2 people to watch here. One is going to be Powell up top, who's filling in for Cox, who's done extremely well. You're going to see him do very well on this play right here. And here's Dexter. He's one-on-one. So I just talked about this. He's one-on-one. He's rarely one-on-one. Let's first watch Dexter and see what happens in this bubble right here. Driving back. Okay, that's 6-7 yards. This is a left tackle. Presumably the best lineman on the team at pass protection. This is Dexter, a guy who's not going to play defensive end in the NFL. He's going to play defensive tackle almost certainly. Watch the power. That is power. That's one arm driving a guy back all the way into the pocket, right? Doesn't get the sack, but showing you what he can do one-on-one. It's why teams do not want to block him one-on-one. However, we want to focus on Powell, who's taken the place of Cox and has done extremely well. The whole defense has done extremely well since Cox has left. And here's a nice spin move. Now, there's several good things about this. One, you don't want to run past the depth where the quarterback is going to sit, right? If he just keeps pushing over here, he's going to run himself out of the play, even if he gets past the blocker. Instead, you want to try to get to where the quarterback is going to go. Spin move, and this is nasty. Super quick spin move. Whoop! Right, he's gone. Uh-oh. Spencer, sack. And that's a great play from Rylan Powell, getting another sack there. He's played fantastic, put a lot of good stuff on film. And yet another tackle for loss for Florida. That's 4 plays, 3 tackles for loss to start this game off. All right, 3rd and 17. Let's see if Florida can keep their 3rd down defense going. And the answer is no, they cannot. This is soft. This is some stuff that needs to be improved. We've talked about this before. Here's Jaden Hill. I've been very confused all year long with Florida's cover 3 technique, and I do not understand what exactly we think we're defending, but this is not exactly an amazing dig route that's going to be run here from South Carolina. I want you to watch this. This is a pretty soft and rounded dig route. Nothing amazing is happening here, right? Now, if you're Jaden Hill, yes, your job is not to get beat deep. It's also 3rd and 17. He's already have to run a long way. He's not going to give you at this depth any kind of in and up route. He basically is declaring what his actual route is. You're a cover 3 safety, right? You know this route's already been passed off here to Dean. You're looking into the backfield. You are no longer looking at this route. At some point, you have to now see this, and you have to get here. You cannot continue to maintain so much space between you and the receiver that if he makes this in cut at the sticks, you have no chance of getting there, which is what happens right here. He's not there. Now, ideally, if you want to play perfect soft coverage, you're hitting him right in the back right now. That's as soft as you'd ever want to play. If you're playing more aggressively, you're going to be on his hip when he runs this in-breaking route, all right? So this is indefensible. This cannot be done. This is a no-no. This has got to get fixed. This is too soft on a dig route. You cannot allow that to happen. He's tackling him after he's already secured the catch. That's just not good technique. That stuff's got to get fixed. Florida gives up a conversion here in this game. Of course, Florida's going to shut out South Carolina in this game. They're going to play fantastic. But on this particular play, stuff Florida can improve on. 3rd and 11 for South Carolina. Thanks to the broadcast, we know that Florida is, of course, the worst in the SEC at 3rd down defense. Not surprising to anyone that's watched Florida play, but we have made 9 stops in a row. We got 2 quarters of shutout football. We're coming down to the end of the first quarter here. We're playing well. Another chance to get up the field at 3rd down. Let's focus on the battle down here, man-to-man between Jaden Hill and his receiver. He's lining up here in outside shade. This is good. South Carolina's inside the numbers. We have a safety here. You want to funnel him to the inside, right? Maintain your outside leverage. This is unfortunately going to go very, very wrong for Jaden Hill, and it's going to happen very early. So right now, what you want to be doing is opening up at 45, which is what he does. 45-degree angle. You want to cross-body jam, so you want to get your right arm out there and steer this route to the inside, keeping yourself on this side of the route. He's going to overextend himself right here too far. Now he's opened all the way up. That's not what you want. He has not put a cross-body jam on that shoulder with a right arm. You want to see his right arm out on that shoulder, controlling the release of the route. He doesn't do it. He tries too late as his momentum is going this way. He's going to do a drive-by swipe right here. There it is, too late, bad technique. Now we've given up the outside release. It's exactly what we don't want. We do not have safety help there. We are in trouble. Now we're turning all the way around. We're looking at the South Carolina sideline. Now we're looking at the end zone. We can't see where we're going, right? We are in trouble, and we know we are beat, and the ball's probably coming to us. Spencer Rattler's reading it. Jaden Hill, to his credit, does an absolutely great job to get back into position here to at least put pressure on this throw and force a very small window. Sensational throw by Spencer Rattler here on the sideline. It does not get any better than this. Unfortunately for him, this ball is dropped. That's going to go as an incompletion, and that's going to be Florida's 10th stop in a row. Something worth celebrating. Florida scores again. There's a minute and 26 seconds left in what's turning out to be a perfect first quarter of football for Florida. This is great, right? It's great to do film reviews when you're getting to do this kind of stuff, especially on the defensive end, where for years we have not had this opportunity to see a lot of good stuff on film. Right here, pay attention to the D-line, McClellan especially, but really all of them here on the near side of the screen. And look at how they use their hands. Here's Boone. Here's McClellan, right? Let's get our hands out here and let's control the engagement at the line of scrimmage. Let's drive them back. Let's win this battle. Look at Boone pushing back. Look at McClellan here separating and holding, right? Creating a tiny little window for the running back. Nothing there. McClellan then is going to lose the guard and then make the tackle. Excellent technique. Great use of hand control. And on 1st down and 10, South Carolina barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. First quarter's now over. South Carolina still with the ball, and they're driving. A drive for them in this game was crossing the 50-yard line. They're doing that. The perfect first quarter is intact, but Florida is seeking their 11th stop in a row. It is now 2nd down and 9. And again, I talked about how Florida was really reading the mail, so to speak, of South Carolina. And you're going to see that here. Corner blitz. Used to dread these from Grantham. This is the right time to call a corner blitz here when they're running back to the field play action. And here it comes. Great time for this call. Here's Marshall. I want to stop right here. I see this a lot in college football and the NFL, but especially in college football. This is a right-handed quarterback. The natural move for a right-handed quarterback is to attempt to escape this way. They probably want to give you a little head fake this way, a little step in here, a little pump fake or something to eventually escape this way. If you are Marshall or you are any corner or you play high school football or college football, you're watching this film review, you want to make sure that you stay to the outside rushing lane of the quarterback. You also want to make sure that you don't rush in too hot to where if you're too far outside, he can just step up and avoid you, right? So there's a fine line here of running in under control, but really pursuing essentially the outer half of this part of his body. That's going to force him to either go this way, which is what you really want, right? Or this way, kind of right into you, where you've got your right arm out here like a rudder. You're flying in, right arm comes out. If he tries to step up, you grab him. And of course, if he tries to go this way, you pursue him because you have the pursuit angle. So Marshall's going to clear the running back easily. At this point in time, right, you're going to see Spencer Rattler set up to clear space, and he wants to go this way. All he really does, it's kind of imperceptible right here, but he sets his foot, and right here, he gives just a little bit of a move to the inside, and that is enough to set Marshall off. Now, when you are coming in this fast as a corner, you are full sprinting, you've got to get to the breakdown point right here. When you get within 5 yards and you're running full speed, you need to slow yourself down and be able to break down. This guy cannot block you. He's too late. All he could do is block you in the back. Break down, play to this outside shoulder, force the quarterback to go here or here. Had Marshall done that, he's probably going to wind up getting a sack, or at the very least, Rattler's going to be in a lot of trouble. Instead, he's able to escape the pocket here and then throw this football away, which is just fine on 2nd down and 9. The play call resulted in an incompletion, but it could have been even better. Something there for Florida to look at, but a great play design, great play call, good pressure by Marshall. A little detail there could make it that much better. All right, 3rd down and 9 for South Carolina. Dexter right here, one-on-one. Florida's going to play cover 2, which is, again, the perfect play call versus the mesh that South Carolina is going to run. Here's your mesh route here. Crossers, here comes your hitch route. We've seen Florida run this. A lot of schools run this, right? Mesh concept's a good concept. 3rd down and 9. Not a good concept against cover 2. It's basically the perfect defense for the mesh. You can see Marshall calling under, making sure that the underneath defenders know these plays are coming. Same thing's going on over here. So Florida's zone defense in the back end is more or less perfect, something we want to see, something we have not seen before in previous years. And here comes Dexter. One-on-one. Here he is. Driving back, throw him off. Bam. Sack. One more time. Driving back, throw him off. Here he goes, right? He's diving. Look at this, right? He's hit the diving board here. And he's got his best, look at this arms back technique. He's looking good right here. He's sending this dive fully. Head first, I'm diving. Regain composure. And then turn around just in time to watch my quarterback get crunched. Nice play from Princely there, too. We didn't focus on him here, but nice play from Princely there as well. But again, Dexter, one-on-one. When he goes one-on-one, he does good stuff. Florida's D-line there wreaking havoc. Really nice stop. Again, 4 down linemen on this play, right? Very successful for Florida. They're very dangerous. We've got 4 guys with their hands in the dirt. That is going to be, by the way, stop number 11. It's 11 stops in a row for this Florida defense. It's hard to believe it even as I write it. South Carolina with 37 yards to Florida's 306. Easily the best quarter and a half of football that Florida has played in quite some time. Absolute domination. South Carolina, for the most part, against most teams this year, was competitive. Not so far in this game. Florida, again, reading South Carolina's mail right here. Nickel blitz at the exact right time. Watch what Florida does here. Nickel blitz. Ventrell Miller coming here on a C-gap blitz off the edge. And then you've got pressure rotating in to cover the screen. And this is just perfection. Immediate pressure by Trevez. Hands up, right? Hands up as he comes in. Messing up that pass to the running back. Running back makes the catch. Here comes Shamar James flowing over, reading the play correctly, and that play basically goes for nothing. Just great stuff there. Good play call, good timing, good execution. Florida with another successful play on defense. 3rd down and 6. Florida played zone the best I've seen them play on film in many years in this football game. They played a lot of zone. They played it here. And on 3rd down and 6, they did have open guys. Again, so much in college football is just covering the primary receiver first. He does have a throw right here. This is a throw for a 1st down, right? Take a look at this. This throw is here. It's for a 1st down. Ventrell splitting him, but he's looking at the quarterback's eyes. Rattler is not to the point to where he can stare over here and then throw here when his feet are like this. So it's perfectly fine to leave that. Now, take a look. As soon as Rattler's eyes come to him, look at Ventrell. He's taking that away. That is great. All right, so it's important when you're watching film to recognize right here he looks like he's open, but Rattler wanted to go here. That play is completely dead. Although he looks open, there's a player waiting right over here for him as well. So his initial read side is dead. And again, so much of good defense in all levels of football is taking away what happens on the initial read side. It happens here. By the time he works back around to here, sometimes these are all pick 6 results. Spencer wisely doesn't throw it. We've brought pressure here with 5. We don't get home. And now it's Ventrell versus Spencer Rattler one-on-one, right? Rattler's a little bit shakier than you might think. Puts that left foot in the ground really hard right here, and Ventrell cannot do anything about it. Tries to grab his ankle. 1st down markers here, and Spencer Rattler's going to win that one-on-one battle and convert for South Carolina. Another great play call here from Florida. Now, South Carolina does not have the numbers to run this. This is a bad play call by South Carolina, in my opinion. Florida's got 4-on-3 over here. They're going to try to run. Either they have options here, right? They're running this fake screen, the 2 in-breaking routes here, and Florida's going to play this perfect. Middle defender's going to wind up taking the screener, which is exactly what you want. He's going to be the one that goes into the flat. Check. Spencer's reading this right now to see if Florida gets this wrong, perhaps. We do not. Then we're going to soak these in-breaking routes up here. What you see right here comes Shamar. Wall this off, open up, wall this off, so that's not going to happen there. And that's what Rattler's looking at there. Now he wants to come down here to the check down, except he can see that Florida's exploding towards that. Don't like that either. This play is dead. I'm going to get out of here and minimize the damage. Great play design, great play call at the exact right time, and good execution by the defense. 3rd and 6, 24-0. South Carolina figures nothing else is working. Let's try to run a play that we've seen work on Florida so many times before, and that's the old counter, right? We can run this counter play. We've seen everyone else run it. It works really well. Let's run the counter and see if this is like the Grantham defenses. Can we make this happen? Well, Florida's going to call a safety blitz. Another perfect call here. Perfectly timed. A strong safety blitz here from Trey Dean. He times this up really well. There's no chance he's ever going to be blocked on this play. South Carolina thinks they're in business because they do have a good look here. This is a good look. In fact, if Trey Dean does not make this tackle, this is almost certainly going to be a first down. But this is the play call. He's here. He tracks it down. He reads it, closes, and makes this tackle. And that is absolutely fantastic. Of course, you know you're going to get a Trey Dean celebration on senior day, which you do. There it is. Cameron gives him the glory, dusts himself off. Bingo. But nice play from Trey Dean. Obviously, he's been much, much better in the past now 3 games in a row. Crowd likes it. Everyone likes it. Trey Dean likes it, right? Really, really nice play. And that means that's going to be our 12th stop in a row. 12 times our opposition has had the football, and 12 times they come away with no points. 4th down and 5 coming up next. All right, 4th and 5, South Carolina punting, and this is going to be their only score of the game. This does not go on the defense, although Florida's starting defense is out here. What goes wrong on this play? First of all, nice play design. Beamer said they drew this up earlier in the year, haven't used it yet, thought they might get a chance against Florida if Florida left their base defense out there, which tells you Florida had left something on film when they were playing safe that South Carolina wanted to see, and they saw it. Again, nice play design here. Focus right here. Here's your gunners, right? The gunners are going to simply run off to the inside. This is also a smart design. Don't run them off here on verticals where the defenders are going to keep their eyes in the backfield and the punter. Run them off to the inside, which they do. And because you're doing that, what you're really doing is you're playing a game here with Bernie. Is Bernie paying attention? He's the only guy who can stop this. Now, Bernie's helmet, you're going to see, takes a look. He scans to see, is this a fake? Is something happening? Now, I can't see how far his head is looking, but he's responsible for this. Here goes his man. At this point in time, he should know something is up. He is not blocking. Something is definitely up, but he's going to kind of creep. He's going to watch, and then he recognizes, uh-oh, that's me. I got to get there. Not good, right? Ball's thrown out there. Now we need to make a tackle. South Carolina still has not scored. A tackle here would be great. They probably won't score. And there's Jason Marshall kind of just coming down, stopping, throwing himself at him, doesn't make a tackle, barely touches him, takes out Bernie in the process. Helm looks like he wants no business with this. He's like, hey, you know what? I'm getting blocked here. Yeah, I'm good. Don't hit me. I don't want this to be. That's on me. That's all right. It's all good. You know, let that go in there. So Florida gives up their only touchdown here, not playing defense, but against a fake punt. In a situation that it should have been relatively obvious it was a fake punt, which is why Florida was playing safe. But this is a nice play design from South Carolina. Let's give the nod here to South Carolina's play call. Very nice design, tough to stop, right? They got the look they wanted. They knew it relied on one player playing linebacker, reading him, slipping out. So chalk up 1 to South Carolina here, and this game is now 24-6. They would go for 2 using their special teams instead of their offense. That was curious. They would not get it, and this would remain at 24-6. Start of the second half now. South Carolina with some momentum. Florida did not score another point there. They get a chance to try to make this a 2-score game with the football. You know, they want to come out and make an impact early. And Mitchell, who's been playing quite a bit in this game on certain formations, is in there again, and he is going to be, in my opinion, too close here to the tackle. You want to split this difference so that he's a little bit closer, probably more over here. He can still up in the run, but also can help in the pass. And you can see this spacing is just not quite right. South Carolina knows that they're going to go to this hot run right here. Bam, right? Fire this out here. His spacing is too far, which is true. He's off to the races. He's going to pick up a bunch of yards here, maybe 7 or 8 yards before he gets tackled. But Mitchell's going to hang in there and make a tackle here with the left arm, and then the right arm right there, punch this ball. In comes Torrance. We get a little bit of just sort of a little sandwich here, a little double hit. Ball comes loose, and we are in business right there. You can see it right there in the air. There it is. You saw the replay a bunch on television, and there it is. Torrance gets it. We have 1 play for South Carolina in the third quarter, and as Miller says, we have 1 recovered football for Florida, and that is going to be the 13th stop in a row, setting up by the defense what could have been an even better quarter than the first quarter had the offense complied. Unfortunately, the offense did not comply, but the defense itself had a sensational stretch of play here. 13 stops in a row. Can't wait to see what happens next. And a play that will be seen, I think, forever amongst Gator Nation on broadcasts is Big Dez, the biggest player in college football, stealing the ball from South Carolina. Now, again, South Carolina was missing both of their starting running backs in this football game, but I don't really care. This play is amazing. First of all, let's give a nod here to the defensive line, right? I mean, look at the gap fill. We've struggled with gap fill so often throughout the season, and here we're just filling gaps. I mean, there's nowhere to go. Very, very rarely have we ever seen this happen. We saw it happen a lot in this game. This play is going nowhere, and then Big Dez says, I'm going to take advantage of that, and in this scrum, you see his huge helmet, right? Here he is. He's in there. He's doing something because he's stealing the ball. Give it to me. That's my ball. Now I'm outing him off to the races. And he actually, again, he's a really athletic guy, and something I think he's forever going to wish he could do differently, which is not get tackled by Spencer Rattler. He puts the stiff arm out, which is what you want, right? You want to see your biggest player in college football throw down a quarterback, an undersized quarterback, just put him to the ground. But credit to Spencer Rattler here, because he somehow pushes through the stiff arm and actually shoves Big Dez to the ground, right? Now, afterwards, he mentioned, of course, he tackled him, and that was pretty good by him, and I have to agree, whether you like Spencer Rattler or not. He didn't just shy away here. He didn't fumble the ball. It's not his fault. Here comes a 400-plus pound man at you, putting the stiff arm out right here in the face, and Spencer goes for it, and he gets rewarded. As it stood, Florida went nuts, right? The team went nuts with this play. We got a sideline warning. Everyone's hyped up. They're going to maul Big. I mean, look at Big Dez. Look at Big Dez right here. He's excited. Everyone's excited. Yeah, let's go. Get the windmill going. While the refs are talking, they're mobbing Big Dez, right? Here he is, mobbing Big Dez. I mean, everyone just loves this play. Look at this guy. Just sensational play. Here's the look from the lineman camera on the All-22. And here it is. Hold him up. Get in there. Give me that ball. You are not strong enough to have that ball. It's my ball, and I'm coming out hot. And then I'm going to stiff arm here. I'm going to be the Heisman. You know, I love that going on social media, right? You got Dez and the Heisman Trophy right there. And then, unfortunately, doesn't complete that, goes to the ground. But either way, what a play. What a play for Big Dez. What a moment. Just great to see the whole team. The whole team obviously having a blast in this football game in general, celebrating each other, celebrating what's happening. Great moment for this guy who's been working really hard to put himself in this position to play this many snaps. Obviously a fan favorite, but what a play, what a strip. Only could have been better if he finished off Spencer Rattler and got into the end zone, but at this point, who cares? Another turnover for Florida, and that, of course, since I know you're all counting at home now, is going to be the 14th stop in a row for Florida's defense. We are working on 4, now the 5th straight shutout quarter in a row, and we carry on. South Carolina has run 3 plays and has 2 turnovers. This is going to be their 4th play and their 3rd turnover, and this is a good play by South Carolina. This is unfortunate for them and also fortunate for Florida, but I want to highlight something here. This is Kamari Wilson, and he is going to do what a safety should do, which is come downhill as soon as he sees, here's the ball in the air, that this pass is going to be completed. This is Trey Dean. Trey Dean gets beat on an in-breaking route. He's beat badly. He's not even able to touch him. This is a good ball, perfect ball location, carrying his momentum up the field. But because Kamari is coming down, committed as a safety should, coming downhill, sets himself up, closes the gap, sets up, gets a great tackle right here. Look at this tackle. Shoulder onto the ball, separate the ball, and now Trey Dean finds himself in perfect position to get the ball, primarily because he was far enough behind the receiver. This ball would pop right to him. So that's fortuitous for Trey Dean on senior day, living right, get beat, be too far behind the guy, that you can actually get the fumble when your boy Kamari Wilson knocks this loose. Florida's now in business, 3 turnovers in 4 plays. Shane Beamer said after the game that he's never seen that happen in his football life to a team he's been a part of, played on, or coached. And I can't say I've seen it happen very often either. And that is the look of all South Carolina fans right here. What the heck is going on? It's 31-6. We were 8-point underdogs in this game. We are getting manhandled out here. And that is now the 15th stop in a row. And that is the look of all South Carolina fans when you tell them that Florida has now stopped A&M and South Carolina for a total of 15 stops in a row after being one of the worst defenses in all of college football for the majority of this year. Perhaps no one on Florida's roster embodies the spirit of being a Gator more than Ventrell Miller. The guy has just been tremendous. Work ethic, leadership, how he talks to the media, the example he sets, effort he puts out on the field. He had a great game in this football game, and you're going to see a play here again. This is an instant read by Florida. Florida read the field better than we have ever seen them. It's a wildcat play here. They had a couple of successful plays out of this set, but right away he reads this play. He knows he needs to break into the backfield and make this tackle one-on-one on the perimeter, and he closes down and finishes the job here. I mean, that is just excellent stuff by Ventrell. Looks like he pulled his hamstring. He's hurt. Oh no, what are we thinking here? Nah, I'm just playing. I'm setting up my dance, right? I'm setting up my dance right here. Here we go. Woo, got him. Hit that gritty. There he goes, off the field, loving it. High-fiving with McClellan. Gator chomping here, the kids. They're working on their gritty, right? Let's go. Everyone's working on it because this defense is all of a sudden a unit. Great tackle, great stop. You got to love this for Ventrell. That's as clean as it can get. Go for the ankles, hog tie him up, finish the play. Really, really nice. Second and 16, number 11, Jordan Young, a guy we featured a little bit earlier on in the season. He put some good stuff on film when he got PT then. Hadn't really seen him since then. We're going to see him now late in this game in the third quarter, and let's watch his technique here. He's going to start outside shade, outside leverage, wanting to funnel in here to the middle. Going to maintain that shade. Going to open up to a 45-degree angle. I would have liked to have seen him here put a crossbody jam with the right arm on. That would have been perfection, but he's going to stay close, and now he's going to do it. So he does engage right here. There he is. He's on top of the route, steering the route to the in-breaking portion, maintaining outside leverage, forcing this ball to be perfect. Spencer Rattler's going to throw this ball a touch behind his receiver. If this ball is perfect, he has a chance to complete it, but that's always the way it's going to be. You can't cover every square inch. You want to make sure the balls have to be perfect to be completed. He's going to do that. The ball's not perfect, and then Jordan Young, although it's going to be fuzzy on your screen, is going to knock this thing down and get himself a pass defended. He's going to feel good about it. Nice stuff there on film. Number 11. Third and 16, and yet another great play call from Tony. Again, reading the mail. It's almost as if Florida had South Carolina's play sheet. I mean, truly, we've seen Florida's defensive line struggle at times to maintain discipline and integrity in their gaps, as well as making reads on third and long situations where they're flying up the field trying to get sacks. Well, not in this game. Look at the play call here. Right away, Florida reads, this is a screen. Almost immediately on third and 16, they read this is a screen. Here comes Powell making the read here, and here's Ventrell Miller. And Powell's going to read this perfectly. He's going to get held like crazy right here. It's not going to matter, right? Because in comes Sapp to make this tackle. So this is just, I mean, this is fantastic. Again, I want Sapp is playing on the left side. Watch this. Left side comes rushing up the field, reads the screen, doesn't get too far up the field, comes from behind the play. We're getting absolutely held like crazy here. Powell plays it perfectly. He's like, bro, do you see this? I'm going to make that tackle. Do you see what is happening? And the ref's like, nah, man, I don't see anything. It's 31-6. It's late in the third quarter. I'm just trying to get home. I'm trying to get out of here. Your guy's going to make tackle anyway. I'm not going to call that, right? You should have called it. But regardless, that's going to be a whole lot of nothing on third and 16. That's great defense, great discipline, great play call, great expectation on that play. And that is going to be, unbelievably, the 16th stop in a row for Florida's defense. A big return sets South Carolina up. The quarter changes. You're seeing the last Tom Petty third quarter, right? We're the boys' Tom Petty celebration for the season since Florida has no more home games left, sadly. It's always so much fun to be in the swamp on Saturdays. Definitely a great place to spend fall afternoons and evenings. On this particular play here, 3rd down and 3, Again, it's just crazy what Florida's putting on film in this game. You're getting a heavy bunch set here from South Carolina. Florida's going to wind up doing everything perfect here, just staying a little bit further to the outside, making sure you keep all of these players in between you and your defenders. And then on top of that, play action, and here comes Florida again, reading the mail on this play action play, right? Dodge here, come right in, go to the spot where Spencer Rattler is at. That's step one. There you go. Step two now is, here we come, putting pressure on this. Let's rotate right here with Torrance. Come downhill. Trust this. We've not seen this before in the past. At times, Florida's been too content to sit back here. Come down here and make a play. Force the throw. There it is. Hands up in the lane. Make this pass hard, which he does. Almost touches it. Here comes Torrance, full speed. Go low. Go to the outside leg. Make that tackle. 3rd down and 3. Gain of nothing. Celebrate that one as well. I mean, it's like, what is going on? It's unbelievable. This defense is putting this stuff on film, but it's also excellent. It's going to set up a 4th down here to see if Florida can get their 17th stop in a row, despite the fact that they got stuck on their 15, 20-yard line to start this drive. Let's see if they can get it done. South Carolina did convert this 4th down. Unfortunately, they had a false start. They were their own worst enemy in so many ways in this game. Florida, of course, is also causing them problems when they were not their own worst enemy. Once again, Florida reading the mail. From a pre-snap look here, that doesn't look like essentially what's going to wind up being cover 2 becomes cover 2. The perfect defense for yet the mesh route combination. South Carolina is going to try again, but be unsuccessful on. Going with the mesh route combination. Why is cover 2 so good? Because the corners are going to sit right where these meshers come to. So you have 4 underneath defenders splitting the field in quarters, and they're all just sitting. There's no place for these mesh routes to go to, and then you're going to wind up having who you drop. And Florida's dropping a defender in the hole here, the weak spot of the cover 2, which would be this hitch route. They're dropping a defender right there. He's just waiting for this hitch route, and then on top, you have your safety running with this route here over the top middle. This part of the field is condensed, so it's harder to hit that route in cover 2, especially in college. Anyway, this is a good play call by South Carolina. Florida's also going to get pressure right here with Princely coming off the edge. Speed rush, just absolutely torches the left tackle. Immediately puts pressure on Spencer Rattler, which takes away right away any chance of trying to hit this vertical over the top route. That is now taken away. He's in scramble mode. Princely's going to miss a sack he wishes he had. Dexter, again, breaking off. We have not seen Florida do a good job of this. We're finally seeing it. Here comes Dexter. He's going to get pushed into a double team right here, right? This looks like a nice big alleyway if Rattler can get out of the way, but now we're going to play heads-up football, push off, get out of this, recover, put pressure on Spencer Rattler, force a bad pass here into the mesh hitch route, which is what happens here with Torrance is on it. That's going to wind up being incomplete, and that right there is going to be the 17th stop. 17. That's absolutely unbelievable. 17 stops in a row for the Florida defense. No points scored by the opposition. 3rd and 4 now for South Carolina. They are 3 of 9 on 3rd downs. That's abysmal. Florida seems like maybe they're not ready on this play, but it doesn't matter. Florida's playing hot football. No matter what happens, they're ready. Here comes South Carolina trying what Florida loves to do, the old sprint rollout to the right with Spencer Rattler, and much like Florida's results, not going to be good. South Carolina does at least attempt to keep a receiver inside the hash, something Florida almost never does, and he is, in fact, open-ish, if you will, right? This is a tough throw. Roll to your right, back across the middle of the quarterback, right? Not a good idea. Underneath defender right here. I mean, that's anything but a layup, right? That's not ideal for a million different reasons. And he's going to wind up electing to just throw the ball away because he's like, I don't have anything. I'm being chased right now. I don't really like this. I'm getting killed. It's 31-6. Coach still has me in the game. Let's just get back on the plane and get home. Throwing this thing out of bounds. Get out of here. Plus, I want to have James celebrate here because that obviously is now going to be the 18th stop in a row for Florida. 18 stops in a row. We have played 5 quarters of shutout football. We're now in the 4th quarter, and South Carolina's punting again. By the way, if you don't think offenses matter for quarterbacks, if systems don't matter, if those things don't matter in college, here's a good example of just how much that matters. Now, Spencer Rattler had struggles at Oklahoma for sure, but under Lincoln Riley, even while he was struggling, It's a big difference there. Big 12 also obviously a lot different than the SEC. But in general, it matters. Just saying. All right, so South Carolina now going to face a 3rd and 28. 5:28, 38-6, and Spencer Rattler is still in the game. I can't tell if this is like disrespectful towards Spencer Rattler, if they're just making a point here in this situation. They still have a season left to play. I don't really know. They still want to be Clemson. Whatever. He's in the game, and Florida is not relenting here. So it's 3rd and 28. What can South Carolina really do? Rattler feels the pressure. He's like, I'm going to take this check down. Again, I really just want to get on the plane and get out of here. I'm done with this. And then Shamar James, not a great angle. I'm going to run him down, push him to the corner, and we're going to push him out of bounds, and that's going to be good. They're going to punt because it's still 4th and a mile, and that is going to be the 19th stop of the game. 19th stop of the game. Unfortunately for South Carolina, they have the ball last, which means they give Florida a chance for the 20th stop of the game. 14 seconds left, and that is still Spencer Rattler. He's still in the game. And South Carolina is electing to throw a screen, a little wide receiver screen. And Florida's going to play this perfectly. Again, this just warms my heart after years of this stuff being trash. And look, Florida's defense this year has not been good, obviously. We've chronicled it, right? However, Florida has been good largely at doing small little things like this, making sure they take the outside lane. Florida's struggled with the front seven. They've struggled with linebacker play. They've struggled with other stuff, but they've largely not struggled on the edge with stuff like this. And this is good right here. Make sure you take the outside route so that you're able to help on the inside here on 2nd down and 10. The game's over anyway, right? But regardless, this is why. Here you go. And look, 52 is also like, look, I'm a Spencer coach. This game is over. What are we doing running plays out here? Get me out of here. I should block this guy. That's my job. I'm out here to block this guy, but I'm good. I'm not going to block anyone. I'm going to let Shamar James get a tackle here to end this game because that feels good. I'm playing in Florida. It's senior day as a freshman. Let the boys play. Please, coach, just take me home. I don't want to be here. I don't want to block. I want to get out of here. All right, great. You know what? You can go home. The game is over now. We're done. Spencer's like, dang, dude, this has been a long day. I just need to get out, need to refresh, need to leave. But Florida's defense is the story here. Absolutely sensational. That's the 20th stop in a row. 12 times South Carolina stepped on the field, led by Spencer Rattler, and 12 times they scored 0 points. 20 stops dating back to the A&M game at halftime. If you had that on your bingo card for Florida's defense this year, you are lying. Regardless, I'm enjoying it. I know you're enjoying it. And I will be back next week to see what Florida puts on film versus Vanderbilt. We'll see if they can keep this momentum going, keep this turnaround going. And something we said from day one, game one of this season, was if Billy Napier and the coaching staff is what we hope them to be, you start to see a lot of progress by the end of year one on film. Clearly, in this South Carolina game, we have seen that. Progress is being made. It's very encouraging. And again, I'll be back with you next week to break it all down after Vanderbilt. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching this. I'm James from the Gator Podcast, and I will see you next week.